everyone, and welcome back to my station Facts Fan, where we talk all about family and consumer sciences and home and career skills. Today I'm going to show you how to make mini taco bowls.
Alright, and here is a copy of the recipe that I will be using today.
Alright, so first thing you're going to do is put on an apron, put up your hair if it's really long, and wash your hands for at least 20 to 30 seconds. Then you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The next thing that I like to do is wash my produce. So for lettuce, to get the stem out of the middle, you're going to take the lettuce and hit it into your counter, and then twist and remove the stem. Okay? Then I put a colander in my sink. I'm going to run water into the lettuce, cool running water, and I'm going to put it face down in my colander to drain. If you plan on putting tomatoes in your taco bowls, you should definitely rinse those in cool running water as well. If you're worried about any dirt on them, you can use a veggie brush to wash them off too. The next thing I'm going to do is wipe off the can of pinto beans that I bought, because you don't know if there's any bacteria on top. Then I'm going to open them using a can opener. And then I'm going to drain the beans and rinse them in another colander. Right, so I got my other colander. Dump them right in there. Rinse the pan. You can also use your sprayer to rinse them off too. Rinse those beans right off. Alright. Then I'll let them sit for a minute to drain as well. Alright, so if you plan on doing the mini taco bowls, make sure you get the smaller size of flour tortillas. I got the next size up because I plan on doing more of a taco salad and cooking them or baking them inside of these instead. I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to press them right in here to make the shape. Alright. Just got it just a little bit. Right. So they fit in there right like that. If you want them to be crispier, you can also brush them with olive oil or oil in general. I'm going to finish that up first. Okay, so since I want my mini taco bowls to be crispy, I'm going to brush them with olive oil on both sides. So just with a pastry brush, coat them with the olive oil. Like this. Alright. And I'm going to put them into these taco salad bowl makers, I guess you could call them. Go. And then I'm going to brush them on this side with the olive oil as well. Alright, so I'm going to finish all these up first and then put them in the oven. Alright, so I've got my taco bowls coated with olive oil. Now, I'm going to safely open the oven. Step to the side, open it a little bit so the hot air does not scald your face. Okay, put them on the top shelf. I'm going to set my timer for 10 to 12 minutes. Alright. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut up my produce. For the lettuce leaves, you can actually take one leaf at a time, roll it up like so, and then do a cutting technique called chiffonade, where you're going to basically make strips out of the lettuce. So if your parents are comfortable with you using a chef's knife, go ahead. Just remember, with a chef's knife, you're gonna put your thumb and forefinger on the bottom of the knife and then wrap your other fingers around the bottom. Otherwise, just use a paring knife. Make sure you keep your fingers away from the knife and curl them in. Okay, so there's some right there. So see, it's more like strips that way. All right, I'll show you a little closer up too. All right, so again, I'm gonna take a lettuce leaf, roll it up, and then I'm basically gonna cut strips through the rolled up lettuce. Really nice. There we go. For the tomato, I think what I'm gonna do is cut it 4 slices like this. Then I'm gonna put them flat face down. Cut those pieces into slices. So, turn it and cut the opposite way for the pieces. And just get rid of the piece with the stem in it. Okay? So again, I'm gonna cut slices one way, turn it, and cut pieces and slices the opposite way. Just again, be careful. The skin's a little tough. All right, so that's how you cut up your lettuce and your tomatoes. If you want beans in your recipe, you can leave them whole like this, or you can mash them up with a fork or with a masher. Totally up to you. And I usually add this mixture to the meat after I brown the meat. All right. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is brown my beef in a saute pan. So I'm gonna set the saute pan on medium heat. In this case, I'm gonna put it on 6 out of 10, or 6 out of 9. Got my meat here. I use ground beef. You can use other types of meat too. Put that right in there. And then I'm going to use a turner to spread it around so that it cooks more evenly. So another tip, make sure the handle of your pan is always facing in, not out. I'm gonna push it around and spread it out. And then I'll show you a closer up picture of what I'm cooking. So I know in my recipe it says to put 2 teaspoons of taco seasoning in there, but since I'm doing a full recipe and using a pound of meat, I'm actually gonna follow the directions on my taco seasoning. So for this, I'm gonna use the whole package for 1 pound of beef. After the beef has browned, I'm gonna drain it onto paper towels to get rid of any fat. Then I'm gonna add the meat back to the pan with 3/4 cup water and a seasoning. All right, so once the pan starts heating up more and the meat starts to sizzle, then you're going to stir it around more often. But you don't have to keep constantly stirring. So I'm just gonna keep cooking the meat until all that pink or red is out of there. Just keep it evenly spaced. All right, so as you can see, the beef is browning more. More and more of the pink is coming out. I'm just stirring every once in a while again. Spreading it out and letting it cook a little bit more. Almost done. All right, so that's what the beef should look like when it is done browning. And my mini taco bowls should be done too. I'm gonna take those out of the oven. Set that to the side for a second. Turn that off for a second. Carefully take these out. And they should be brown a little bit on the top and crispy. I'm gonna let them rest for a second. And for these larger taco bowls, it actually took double the time to bake those. So you bake them till you like them or how crispy you want them, and then let them rest for a minute or 2. All right, so I'm gonna carefully pour my meat mixture here onto some paper towels to drain any fat. all back in the pan. All right, so I put the beef back in the pan. Now I'm going to add the beans that I mashed up. Okay. You can also add some of the whole beans too if you want. I'm gonna put in my taco seasoning and 3/4 cup water and stir it all together. I'm gonna let it come up to a simmer, and then I'm gonna let it simmer until the sauce thickens. Okay, spread that out more. Okay, if you want to do a vegetarian version of this, you could saute up some zucchini or yellow squash if you want, or whatever kind of veggies you like instead of some type of meat like this is beef. Right, so I'm gonna let that sit for a minute and come to a simmer and it will thicken, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so now that the mixture is nice and thickened, we can put together our mini taco bowls. All right, so here's the suggested order for putting together your taco bowls. I'm gonna spoon in the meat mixture first. Nice and hot. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the cheese on next so that the cheese can melt on top of the hot meat mixture. As much cheese as you want, I like lots of cheese. All right, and then I'm gonna put some salsa on. But like I said, you can do it in any order really. Put some salsa on, and then I'm gonna put on some lettuce. My tomatoes. There we go. I like lots of tomatoes too. And then I'm gonna put a dollop of sour cream. And I like lots of that too. Alright, so that's how you assemble them. All right, and here is the final product. Bon appetit, everyone. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make mini taco bowls, and I hope you enjoy the recipe if you do try it at home. Thank you for watching and have a great day.